Welcome everyone to another session of BDSM, where we discuss movies. The boys discussing movies. Anyways, tonight's episode, we're talking about Sleepless Night. It's a movie that's kind of an action, it's French, and it's just fun. Let's get started.
With a BDM session.
The BDSM, boys
Yeah, that's
discussing
right.
some
So
movies.
what are your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts,
Yeah.
I enjoyed this movie. I found it to be, unique and creative. Very, it's not one of those bland action movies that we get a lot of these days. Didn't feel like a Marvel movie. Didn't feel like a Bruce Willis movie or, a Steven Seagal movie or,
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
yeah, just a different type of quality. Does anyone else have any thoughts?
I thought it was fucking cool. It was a lot of fun. I know I like, especially when I watch movies with like friends and stuff, I tend to just like crack jokes. But aside from that, like I thought it was super cool. The whole Departed vibes it gave, but it's like definitely like its own thing. It was fun, man. Very straightforward, to the point, and it's like hooked me immediately.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah, no, it was very satisfying. It was very well paced, and it was like I would say it was like just like a good burger. It was satisfying. It wasn't like necessarily an expensive meal, but it really like it hit the spot. I enjoyed how kinetic it is, and I'm just going to drop a movie reference right away. It reminded me a lot of Run, Lola, Run, which I don't know if any of you have seen it, but It's a 99 movie.
The only other French movie I've seen.
Right. It's a European movie, but it's just highly kinetic, like constant movement. Like it's just racing along to its conclusion, like almost like a.
Yeah, it was like one day, right?
You can feel the urgency
Cool.
in every single shot of the movie, and so it goes down nice. It's just like, all right, here we go. Like it just has this kind of like natural progression, even with with him bleeding. You just sense like, okay, like time is running here, literally. Like this guy's life is running out. So it's kind of like the blood. His bleeding was sort of like at least to me, like kind of an obvious device, like a contrivance for the plot. But it works really well. It's like, yeah, he's trying to save his son, but additionally, it's like his life is running out, and the movie hurries along because of it. So yeah.
You find, I thought this guy, our main character, I don't know what his name was.
It's Vincent.
Vincent. I thought he was a terrible person. I don't know.
But
he's like
handsome.
He was good looking. He's like a corrupt cop, or he's an armed robber and a cop, which is like beyond normal corruption.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
For those who
Spoilers,
haven't
the
seen
first
this
scene of the
movie
movie.
It took me a while to realize he might be corrupt.
Picked up on that eventually.
I just assume the cops are good.
But yeah, with his son, he's put, the way he lives his life, he's putting his son in danger. It was an inevitability that he was going to be kidnapped at some point with the lifestyle this guy lives, right?
Yeah.
And he was just kind of fucking everyone over. I thought, honestly, for me, the most sympathetic character was the mob boss, the guy who owned the club. I don't know. I felt like he was just trying to run a business. And, he was pretty lenient.
He was like,
He
look,
seemed
I didn't
like
want
a dick at first,
right?
but he showed a golden heart. He's like,
Yeah, I feel like the club itself was a victim. Like, hey, you know what I mean?
He literally did at one point say, "My dining room, not in my dining room."
The real
I felt bad for him.
This movie was the cooking staff in the
Yeah.
kitchen.
I mean, anyone who's ever worked like in a restaurant before, like in a kitchen, it's hard enough. Let alone to deal with like corrupt cops making a big mess of the place. I mean,
Yeah, they're really just trying
that
to
was pretty brutal.
make their food. I wrote down French Jason Statham, who I thought the henchman looked like.
Oh yeah.
Because
He looked
another
like
movie
him.
this kind of reminded me of was Crank, just with that constant intensity. Jason Statham joined. Also, something I found interesting on his iPhone, when he gets a call, the ignore button, it said refuse, which I thought was very French.
Like it.
You're not just ignoring someone's call, you're refusing it.
Yes.
There's like
They're completely
that one.
snubbing them.
Yeah.
there's so much. Sorry, yeah.
No, go ahead.
There's so much. What I just wrote down is French smuggery. Like I just love it. Like it's like the smugness, like in these characters. It's just so like chef's kiss, like French smugness, you know. And it's like I don't know if maybe that just comes natural to them, but it like works so well. Just like all the condescension, and there's everything about. There's great wardrobe changes in this movie. Somehow, even like amidst like all the impending, you might get killed and like all the action going on. And yet, at one point, the guy just changes into a brand new suit, and he looks awesome.
It fits him really well,
It
too.
fits him really well.
It's a great jacket.
Well, actually, that's another thing. So the one of the main boss guys, like he got like the fake coke on his suit, so he had to change into a new, even better suit, a white suit, and white suits get dirty even more easily. But our hero Vincent, yeah, like he changes jackets like with the guy that the would-be rapist. He beats the guy up, and then he changes. And it's very convenient that the jacket fits him perfectly. So this movie is also like pays attention to fashion. It has a great eye for fashion because it's a really well tailored jacket.
In other words, it's French.
Yeah.
That
The
guy
fashion
was
is
a
great.
big guy too. I wonder if that was really his
Yeah.
jacket.
That
He beat up
jacket.
some other guy.
I haven't
That's how you
seen
get
a I
jackets.
haven't
It's
seen
great.
a jacket fit an action hero as well so well since Liam Neeson in Taken. It was the same type of jacket. It just fit him perfectly with his every movement as he's kicking ass. Well done on the jacket.
Yeah. Interesting things with Jack. You know, James Bond, the Daniel Craig version, he has two different suits that fit differently. One's for scenes when he's drinking martinis and playing poker, and then for fight scenes, he'll have a duplicate suit that's bigger,
Telling you,
so he can move around in it.
clothes make the man.
Better.
And Daniel Craig looks great in the
I didn't know
suit.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the beginning real quick. You know how like the movie kind of just
Yeah, really starts.
It's cool how they show you enough to like, oh, he's a divorced dad.
Mhm.
His son hates him, and
It's a terrible
you
flop.
like find out, oh, he's like a crooked cop too. And then not to jump all the way just to the end, but the ambiguity of like, there's like, it was hard for me to keep track of like the names of the people and who was on the force until like the very end. I was like, okay, that person. She doesn't seem like a crooked cop. She's like the only one that's not a crooked cop. But yeah, it was just cool that it was like a total of like 6 characters maybe that we are familiar with, and just keeping track. And it's like the tension in this fucking nightclub.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
the drug being moved here and there, and like it's like there's so many fucking people, and he's just dodging like he's on the floor like half the time, just like trying to avoid people.
I want to make a point about the fashion since you guys brought it up. I think it's very interesting that at the beginning of the movie, the very first scene, Vincent, our main character, as a not so good person. We learn that he's a crooked cop, and when he enters the club, he's wearing his white jacket, kind of almost in a reversal of what you would expect a bad character to wear. And then the moment in the movie when he makes a character change, or at least shows the audience his inner character, he switches to a darker jacket. And the same thing happens with the club owner. He's wearing initially a darker jacket, and then he gets coke on it, but this is following the scene where he shoots his colleague, and then he dons a white suit, showing his inner character is still a ruthless person despite the humanity within. So I think this movie's got a lot of great attention to detail. It's very contained, very fast-paced, and man, is it fun.
It is
Yeah,
really
man.
fun.
Yeah.
It is really
Lot of
fun.
fun.
And it's also it also is kind of alarming because it made me think like when I was watching it, I was like one of the scariest parts throughout the movie, and like to me like one of the most dangerous parts was the amount of asbestos that these characters keep because
Yeah, you were
the
worried
movie,
the whole time.
throughout the movie, like as they keep changing the hiding spot for the bag of coke from the men's restroom to the women's. This is going to sound a little dated. We used to have men and women's. We'll just skip past that. different restrooms. But then when they were hiding the bags of Coke, like, above the ceiling panels, each time they open it up, just, like, clouds of asbestos just flying in the air.
Onto the camera.
An alternate title for this movie could be Coke and Carcinogens, you know? But,
Part of also the funness factor was the chase scenes and just, like, how awesome they were in terms of, like, he goes from, like, being super stealthy to, like, you know, dodging them to, like, running across a quiet room where people are eating, and the mob boss, who can also walk around, is also chasing him on top of the tables the whole time, just knocking all the shit off the floor.
Also, I want to give, like, a special nod to some of the dancers on the dance floor in that great sequence when he's trying to blend in with the dancers.
What song was it? It was the Queen.
Another one
Another one bites
dust.
the dust. Yeah,
Another powder. Dust is a powder.
And I didn't know that apparently
Yeah,
there's like there's this like arranged square dance to another one.
Yeah,
bites
I
the
wrote
dust,
that down. Is there a line dance? Is there another one bites the dust line dance?
That might be a French thing. We don't know.
Yeah.
But there was one guy in particular that was throwing heat. Like, he was like a cameo and he was going for it. He had like
earned his paycheck.
He looked like some Ollie G wannabe. Yeah, like a white guy in like a blue hip hop get up and like, you know, like Ollie G glasses, and he was just throwing heat, like really going for it. And I love like those moments in those movies where it's just like, this guy has no significance to the plot, but I'm never going to forget him. So if you go back and find it, there's a guy on the dance floor that's just killing it. He's going above and beyond for a meaningless part that's in the movie for like 2 seconds.
That guy was just actually on Molly.
You sound like you don't even like him yet. He's going to remember him forever.
I like the guy. He's throwing heat. You got to go back and watch just for him. But
All right.
Yeah, I really.
What were some of your favorite parts, man?
Well, so I haven't said much yet. I wanted to dovetail on what you said earlier, Michael. Your choice of words, kinetic, because that's one of the things that I was thinking, and just immediately, like the very first thing that happens is they jack these guys and steal the coke at the beginning of the movie. The first thing, so he gets stabbed, and as you said, like, for the rest of the movie, his life's running out. And there are so many of these, like, plot devices, these, like, ticking time plot devices that they used.
Sorry, the bucket.
The bucket. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Slowly filling up.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. At first, I thought that was a melted ice bucket, like with champagne. So I was confused. I realized it was collecting drippings from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which I think is
and
worth...
also, did you get the feeling like I'm not saying that in any way whatsoever ripping it off, but like the first 5-10 minutes of The Dark Knight, it kind of had that feeling of like
Sure.
setup. It just had like, I mean, we've seen that in many heist movies like that, but it was just really like right out of the gate, just guns blazing. It had like that feeling of just like, okay, clock is ticking, you know, and
All right, Alex.
Continue more about it.
well, I just... I mean, that continued throughout the movie. I liked the way that they kept up the pacing. You mentioned the pacing also. I'm just trying to dovetail on what Michael had said. There's never a dull moment, and I really enjoyed it on that point. I mean, I had no sense of how much time had passed because it was just like one thing to the next. Like the whole thing was adrenaline pumped, which I thought was really, really cool. I mean, I guess that's like the primary mechanic of the movie.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out, don't you feel fucking terrible for Vincent? So his whole morning in the very beginning of the movie is that whole heist operation. He gets stabbed. He gets down to sleep, but his boy just wakes up and calls for him, and it's like, I'm gonna be late. So he doesn't even get much sleep.
So also,
because he's a terrible person.
And then it immediately goes into the rest of his day, and then that terrible night.
That actor I found magnetic. Like, you know, like, I mean, like, I know I was like, whatever, it's meaningless, he's handsome, but like, no, he holds the screen. That guy has a
You really have a crush on
I was
this
into
guy.
him. I was crushing on the guy, yeah. Great facial hair, fills out a suit nice, yeah.
Also, what's
Oh,
cool in
wow.
these action movies are when they, like, don't make him, like, superhuman, you know, where
Definitely.
it's like, he knows kung fu or, like, can beat the shit out of anyone. Because he's, like, struggling the whole time. And, like, I felt for him in terms of, like, oh, he's, like, been beat up, and just when he thinks he's about to like win a fight, he gets like knocked over. He's trying to retrieve his gun at that one point, and there's like it's not even a bouncer; it's just someone else at the club. Like, get the fuck off! And he like falls off on the floor, and he's like he can't even get his gun back that he hit earlier. And it's like, oh shit, he's like struggling. You feel for him.
Yeah,
I did not. I thought he deserved everything he got. He was a piece of shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, don't talk about my man like
Yeah,
that.
I'm sorry. I just didn't find him sympathetic or likable.
What's that actor's
Even when
name?
he brought up the point that he might this. Now we can't confirm this because the movie does.
Which is what I loved about that.
Yeah.
By the way.
That he was an inside man. He was deliberately being a dirty.
That was a
cop.
lie, right?
But
To
we
get
don't
the
know.
higher-
we don't know.
know
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
We don't
Since I
know.
already hated him, I think that was a lie.
But the higher up
Yeah.
guy was crooked. That was true.
That is true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
He is the only person with like pure motives. He's just trying to save his son.
Well, yeah, he saved his son from a situation that he got him in by being
For sure.
a terrible person.
For sure.
Well, I think that's symbolic at the beginning of the movie. He does this dirty deed, and he's kind of muddying his hands and endangering the people in his
Yeah.
life. And that's the critical stab wound. That's what's getting to him. That's why he has to
Okay.
fix this.
Mhm.
His son doesn't believe that he loves him,
Right.
and he's doing everything he
I wouldn't
can
if I
with
was
his
his
limited
son.
time.
Well, yeah, man. So if he said, because when he's beating the shit out of that girl in the fridge, he tells her, and it could just be him trying to get the drugs back and just saying something so she would tell him. But like,
Yeah.
I've been undercover for like 15 years trying to take him down, and it's like, all right, 15 years of being undercover. How would that affect someone if you have to, be a shitty person? Like, do the ends justify the mean or not? So it was just super cool that they introduced that, and that the way the movie ended was like, we don't know. Or it's not said.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
a big fan of ambivalent endings. I mean, one of my favorite movies ever is Chinatown. Some may say it's not ambivalent at all. The movie is evil wins, evil prevails, but just an ending where it's
I
just
say
like
that,
it
no.
kind of
Yeah.
just sits with you and it's like and kind of like I that's my kind of ending. I like cute little tie a bow Hollywood endings too, but I prefer the so is this person
They're
gonna
awesome.
make it or
Yeah.
are they bad? I mean, yeah, like and
I mean, it leaves you with more. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
you take away more when the ending's ambiguous.
mm,
Something, you mentioned the setting, and you described it as contained. I really liked the nightclub setting. I thought it was a good, just the way it was. His goal for the entire movie was both so close and so far the whole time. The bag of coke, which he didn't really know where it was most of the time. And his son, who's just in the next room, all he has to do is get his son and get out the front door. That's all he has to do the whole time. But he just can't. He can't do that. And I was. I kind of liked. He kept entering new rooms in the club. There was there's a poker room and
New atmosphere in
Yeah.
each room.
I liked the feeling kind of descent, of kind of like, I couldn't really think of a good example of a movie like this, but just going deeper into the belly of the beast. It kind of reminded me of Snowpiercer, just with all the different rooms he kept ending up in, less linear than that.
sorry, I'm not laughing.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a delineation of like Dante's Inferno.
Yeah,
Sure,
it's
there you
totally-
go,
Yeah.
And he kept ending up in the kitchen. There were some other rooms he kept ending up in, and I do want to mention that drawer fight scene in the kitchen. Just
Pretty
you
badass.
mentioned, I just
Oh,
loved
yeah.
that. That was cool and badass and hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
Very organic type of humor.
Yeah, two like older, tired men try to beat the shit out of each other. They're like throwing
That's
whatever
my
they
favorite part.
find.
This movie, the action isn't like super fucking like jam packed, really awesome choreography. It's like you guys are fucking doing what you and I
Yeah,
would do.
yeah, exactly.
Well, there's like there are scenes in that kitchen that are like glorious. Like
He
it's
threw
like
a tray of just food at him. That was the only thing that was close by.
Doesn't
like how he's like,
it feel like it's like it feels like at a certain point we're in a Jackie Chan movie in the kitchen, and
Yeah.
it's great because it's like a kitchen offers you all these fun
So many
possibilities that
things.
they take advantage of, and sometimes it's as simple as what would be like a cool scene for a fight, you know? And a kitchen is a pretty cool scene for that. And especially if you have like a funny chef who's getting all flustered by it.
Yeah, and you think they'd go straight for like a knife or and like it'd be
Right,
like,
yeah.
Or the skillet.
Or
Someone
the
said.
skillet. Yeah,
But-
I was really hoping for the
Every-
frying pan over the head. but-
Of course, like it's a French movie, so we're gonna like play into
Yeah, I
the
wanted to see someone
Frenchness
get
of it.
beat down.
I just feel like the French would be like, no, this is too pedestrian. Like that's done. That's all done.
It was kind of neat to like see it from like the other point of view. Like me as just like the American going like, that could have been me, the poor migrant worker in the kitchen. You know, he only speaks English. You know,
He's American, yeah. He only speaks English just
do we
like
do we have
me.
any idea where he's from? That guy.
No.
That guy also knows how to make flour look like Coke in a bag. He was
That
pretty
was
good at
something
that.
I wanted to
Like-
mention because if you've ever, I did in film school a short that involved
Yeah.
cocaine, and flour just doesn't look like cocaine. Even to me, I've never done cocaine, but I can look at a bag of flour and say that's clearly, flour's heavy and it's thick and
They could use
powdered
drug
sugar.
world.
You gotta use powdered sugar. That is indistinguishable. And I'm pretty sure cocaine is slightly sweet, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But powdered sugar, that's my advice to any of you drug cocaine
Well, I mean,
cutters out
we
there.
were all just, like, as we were watching the movie, like we all had like some varying level of commentary on how funny it is that it's this thing, we just see it over and over again in movies with cocaine,
Taste
where
it.
somebody just
Yeah.
opens up the bag,
But they have a cool army knife.
yeah,
Swiss
cool,
Army knife.
and they
Like,
dab it on their tongue, and everyone instantly knows the quality of the cocaine. And do they go to school for this, or is there
It's
like
usually
some-
like a
Yeah, it's
yes
like-
man going to like
Like,
telling his boss.
You know how we do like wine tastings at
Yeah.
work? It's like, they've been doing this for so many years. They can
Yeah.
they're just like connoisseurs.
I
Hey,
mean,
but that
They're
the
just
head
checking if
drug
it's
guy
flour
who
or, like,
needed the
sugar or
drugs,
not.
when
Well,
he
in
tried
this
it,
movie,
he
yeah.
was like, "Wait a minute." He tried it like 3 times.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, this isn't drugs."
He has to really make sure he's like making pancake batter or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think he was just trying each individual bag.
Yeah.
'cause,
I think
you
probably
know,
like for some of these middlemen, like some of them are like you have to fake it till you make it. Like, yeah, it's good buzz. like,
imagine they accidentally sell flour to like druggies, and the druggies just think it's coke. They're like, woo! That's
Yeah.
some interesting stuff this time. Woo!
all the movies that we've watched, unless like any of you actually have experience with trafficking cocaine. Like,
No.
is any of this stuff real? Like, I mean, like all these
cocaine,
things
I
that we
think so.
yeah, you think like all these things that we
Cocaine's
learned from the movies. This is how they
Drug lords
they-
don't exist, Michael.
I'm saying that the way that they handle the business and they do all that, this is how they do it. It's just like
Well,
some
that's why I
guys-
liked the boss because he was
Yeah.
just seemed like such a chill dude.
Yeah.
He was really
Just assume any nightclub owner is a drug lord.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
good.
Pretty much.
I like the beginning scene where he's like he just starts
I don't wanna-
kissing that one
Yeah,
girl.
he
And
touched
it's
her.
like,
Oh yeah.
he does it like 3 times and then he just pushes her.
Yeah.
over.
Oh no, he's about
That's
to
so awesome.
he's about to exit, and then he's like, huh? Oh, there's a girl there.
Yeah.
He's like, all
Might as
right,
well.
fuck up.
Hmm.
Have you guys? That reminded me. You guys have seen Coming to America?
Which one's that one?
Yeah.
Eddie
I
Murphy.
haven't.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, well, there's
Yeah.
the princess who basically
Yeah.
he's like the king of this rich nation, and this
Zamunda.
other nation gives him a woman who's like trained to be his queen like her
Yeah.
whole life, and she just like follows his every command.
I know what I like.
It's played for comedy. in the
you
movie.
know.
Anyway, that's what
What
this
a dream, right?
woman in this movie reminded me of. She was just so submissive and just ready. with
Speaking
whatever.
about submissive women that
Yeah.
were ready, how about that chick that he saved in the
Yeah.
bathroom?
Yeah, oh, that's who I was
The
talking
best
about.
girl.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about the one that just stood there and let the mob boss like make out with her, and then he like
Oh, that one.
pushed
Oh
her
yeah,
aside.
no.
They that was a pretty
I-
wooden character. They didn't give her a lot to work with, did they?
Did she
They
even
were
have
like-
any lines?
No,
I don't know.
didn't.
She got saved. This guy seems
Yeah.
interesting. He's good looking, as Michael
Yeah,
keeps
it's
saying.
true.
So I think she was just like, "Is there a chance?
Yeah.
I want to see what
Actually,
this goes.
I'm not the
You know,
one.
I'm gonna follow him.
I'm the
He's-
wrong- you're
He's
right.
leading me. You know, it's like I think she
I mean,
just was
clearly
like.
Michael has
No, I was gonna say
feelings
you're
for
right.
this
I'm
man.
the last person that should be criticizing her because
Yeah.
I'm her.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, sure, I'll follow you wherever
Yeah,
you go.
Vincent.
Like, yeah, kiss me, stranger. Yeah, that was. that was just like one of those things though where it was like I either wanted them to do more or do less because how stupid could this person actually be? She's like a lost puppy that's like, I will stay here now, and now you're back. And
Yeah, she's like the princess from Coming to America.
Bark like a dog.
I was thinking about how fun it would be to write this. It's like you have the nightclub, right? Pretty much the whole movie takes place in the nightclub. It's like a board game, you know. You have
Like
the two pieces of value. There's the bag of Coke and the kid, and then you have the players, right? And they're all like. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
the main character.
This would be a good board game.
Yeah, he did some really smart shit, you know, like planting Manu's phone on the good cop, and like what else did he do? He freaking like he stashed the gun, he stashed the coke,
The fake Coke also.
Yeah.
Oh, and he made the I was like, man, this guy is not stopping.
Right.
First, you have to go to the kitchen to gather the resources.
He switched his jacket.
Oh, by the
as
way,
well.
switched the
yes,
jacket,
with the jacket switch, was Vincent counting on the would-be rapist? Was he counting on like that he was going to wear his jacket? So then later on,
No, that was just luck.
that was
Yeah.
just
That was a bonus roll.
Yeah, he would have been like,
he was like,
"Hey, buddy, when you get up, wear that jacket."
it's like
Hey, well, you know what?
to throw him up the scent.
They're
you
the
know?
same size, so he probably put it on. He's like,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah, that guy was
Hey,
like,
this is
son of a
actually
bitch.
better.
It's like, hey, this jacket's kind of nice.
That last one was just a little bit tight on me. This one's actually just perfect.
And it was funny that the mob boss straight up like said that jacket sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that jacket sucked. I don't know why you were
No,
saying
you know,
it.
that jacket looked like, you guys are probably, you're a little younger than me, you don't remember, but the Gap used to actually have good clothes, the Gap. And that looked
The
like
Gap?
when the Gap had good clothes kind of jacket.
She was my love, in my love. All over your body, all over your body. In my love, all over, from your head down to your toes.
That's what that jacket looked like. Gap circa 1997.
That looked like a
I thought it was
jacket
an alright
someone's dad
jacket,
wears.
to be honest.
I thought it was
like
liked
Walter White's
I didn't have
jackets.
any problems.
No,
with
that was a
the
good jacket. You're wrong on that one.
I mean, the slim fit black
The
jacket.
board game
I like the black-
analogy
yeah,
is
the
pretty
blazer.
cool
Oh, that was way
because it
better.
goes back to like how close this all is. And there was a part of me when I don't know their names, but the crooked cop that's not the main dude, Manu was in the ladies' bathroom and he was in the men's bathroom. And Manu had the drugs, and then when he went up, they weren't there. They were like that close to each other. A part of me is like, just go outside and you'll see him as soon as he comes. So it was cool. It was fun.
That was one of my favorite scenes, though. It makes a point of just how close it is. Like India was talking about earlier. It's literally just a couple frames away. If he had seen from that roof area, he could have maybe done something. But the bag is black. I mean, little tiny details. How are you going to see it in the shadows over there?
Oh,
and
and
that shot.
Expect to
that
see it
fucking
there.
cool shot.
The
from
shot
the-
from above,
yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
ceiling
Shot,
or
you can
whatever.
really
Yeah.
see how close it
There were a
actually
lot of-
is.
It goes through the asbestos area.
Yeah, it looked like there was
so
a
much
wall there.
asbestos.
Yeah, that was cool.
He never got his gun back, did he?
I guess not.
Yeah.
And then he dropped it on Mick Jagger, right? That was...
Right, but then he went. Oh yeah, and I guess he ended up just killing he killed Jason Statham, and then he tried to kill the other.
And I'm assuming he killed Jason Statham because maybe he thinks he'll be the new dude, and he's like, "This is my competition." Maybe
Okay,
I don't know. That's what
I thought that was for revenge.
He just seemed like
Unless
a very
he's like super loyal, and
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
like revenge. I thought
Well, that guy
he's
seemed
more
like
petty,
he had a
like-
chip on his
No,
shoulder.
that guy was
Mick Jagger.
unhinged. That guy was
Yeah.
unhinged. He was irritable. It was just like at any given moment, I feel he was ready to kill somebody.
Dude, when they were all shaking up the guy with the jacket, right? And then they're all like, "Where is he?"
Yeah.
And then each one shaking it up, and then the Mick Jagger's like, "Yeah."
À ton bar, allez, la part José. Mademoiselle, champagne pour tout le monde. D'accord? Hein? Comme ça? Oui, d'accord, hein?
He just
No,
walks
like
away.
he was like the kind of guy like the guy the guy had already been like appropriately roughed up and shamed, and then he's like the guy who like then just like as everyone's already walked away, he hits him on the backside of his head. Like what?
Like,
the
I
fuck
need to
was-
get a word in here too. He seemed like the very
I'm with
insecure
them.
man. Yeah. The movie.
So
Yeah,
Mick Jagger's
yeah,
motivations
exactly.
were he in the end he wanted to be.
Well, it could have been like sheer revenge that he was that loyal to his dead boss now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that. I thought it's a lot more petty of like, if I'm going to be, now that he's dead, I can be the head honcho and then I'm
Yeah.
going to kill these guys and take the drugs for myself.
I don't know if it's that simple. Like, would you want to be the head honcho in an operation like that? You'd have to be like.
Well, I feel like
ruthless,
they're already in it.
It's like
that's their
it's-
lifestyle.
That's something I wrote down.
True.
Is
That's
just
true. You probably
crime
can't step
seems
away
really
from that and have a
stressful.
normal life.
It is.
It just seems
Yeah.
like, yeah, you don't want to get involved in that because you just don't. You'll never be at peace.
Why do you
that-
think these guys look so mean?
that-
They threaten so
Yeah,
hard. They're
that's-
like, please don't
that's-
fucking start
That's
shit.
a
Things
reason.
always go so smoothly until they don't, and then it's like one of those nights.
That's
like,
why,
yeah,
like-
the drugs
It's gonna
you
be
would
one of
wrong.
those nights.
That's why, like lazy people can never do that line of work because you have to be ambitious, you have to be organized. You cannot have a mindset of I'm going to take the day off.
Yeah,
I'm
be
just
a
gonna
go-getter, man.
You know,
Don't
they
just
are.
sit
They are
around.
go-getters.
You have
know?
to grab women and just smooch them 3
No,
times.
when
then push them over.
anytime I see a heist movie, I'm always like blown away by like how motivated these people are and how on top of their shit they are. Because I'm like, I can't do any
Like,
of these
wow, I can
things.
never do that.
Like shit. Oh, that's right. The bank robbery was at 9.
Guys, I'm on my way. I
You're the
swear.
driver. I'm on my way.
I'm just like these are like highly organized, motivated people.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Not
not like
like us.
morality out the window. You'd be surprised how motivated.
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
become.
guess so. I guess so. But I did empathize with Vincent though. Like in the like the guy's been stabbed. He's just like let him get like a wink, you know, and then he's got his teenage son bugging him, you know.
I feel like if he really was under deep cover like that, his family would have some kind of protection or something.
I don't know. It might explain the divorce.
I don't buy the
and
deep
the, and
cover
the shitty
thing.
dad. Really?
I don't buy
on
the
my
deep cover.
side.
So you
not
think
not
it's-
for a second.
So
no.
do you, so do you think if his son doesn't get kidnapped, he's just through and through a bad? There's no redeeming qualities to him.
He did,
No, I don't
he
think
did
that. I
two
certainly
good
don't think
things
that.
at the end, no matter what, and he
Yeah.
did it all like while he was fatally injured,
What
nearly
two good
losing his leg.
things?
well, I'm
he
saying
saved his son,
And he gave him the pound
and
of
and he
milk.
and he busted the crooked cop getter.
Yeah,
Okay.
but saving his son was something he pretty much
Okay,
did that
so
for
he
himself.
undid
Yeah.
he undid an evil he
I
caused.
mean, bad people
So
can love
neutral,
their kids. That's
and
not
then
the
he
yeah.
did a good thing. It's two positives. Also,
To all you parents.
also he beat up a rapist.
That's true.
That's
He'd beat up. He'd beat up.
He's
her.
he's net positive from what we have.
I mean,
like you don't
He's
get.
net positive.
There's two things that you don't get morality points for. You don't get morality points
Yeah,
for trying
I'm
to save your own life and trying to save the ones of those you love.
Yeah.
You don't get morality points for that, but you are right about the.
He did
the-
have
the
nothing to
ancillary
gain
benefit
from
of-
saving the woman from
Yeah.
the rape. I guess he did end up gaining something from that.
He used her.
He used her
from
and he
beginning to end.
used her and the man's clothes to blend in with the crowd.
Did she follow him, or did he like do one of these?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
He grabbed her hand, and then he led her around for like the first half, and then she just started following him.
Oh right,
What
that's
was it?
another smart thing that he did. No offense to her, but like he was like smooching her and he was like using her to look around
Yeah.
and shit. Like
She's like,
he was
"He's
smart.
so interesting. He doesn't care about me."
That's exactly why she liked him. She was like, "What the fuck is going on with this guy? He's so cool. What the fuck are you looking at?"
One of those passive characters
It was,
my attention.
it was like in the late '90s, early aughts was like the glory days of the
Gap.
the pickup artist. The glory days of Gap and the pickup artists, you know, moves. They're almost like if you guys have seen Magnolia, like Seduce and Destroy, the Frank Maggie character, Tom Cruise. But that during that time, it was like everybody was like obsessed with like loser guys, not that I would know anything about that, were interested in like how they,
You
how
missed
to
those days.
How much women were still obsessed with loser guys?
how to pick up and so it was always like the number one thing was be mysterious, which hasn't really much changed, but yeah, he's a mysterious guy. He beats the shit out of the guy in the bathroom, and then he's like, all right, I'm on my way. And so yeah, she was with it.
Not to keep jumping, but so what a dumb decision on the one woman cop that was not crooked at the very end to answer the phone and like, I mean, she answered the phone obviously.
And then like
she
with
didn't
a
know.
slack
And then
jaw,
she's
like
like,
turn around.
wait, so that guy's evil? And he's like, well, and he just dude, come on, like,
All right,
She really was. She was like,
just
you're evil?
keep it to yourself for like 5
So-
more minutes.
Five more minutes.
This cop, can we just assume she's just dumb? Is she dumb?
That was she made dumb decisions,
I guess.
Yeah.
especially at the end. I don't
Yeah.
think she really fucked up beforehand because she might have just been like, very naive and like trying to do the best. But
Yeah,
like,
she seemed
at
new
the
to the
very
job.
end,
Right.
like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you know there's a confirmed killer, drug dealer behind you, maybe just like, who was that? Oh, it was the wrong number.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about it.
Whatever you do, don't look directly at it.
Because he knew instantly. He's all, as soon as she looked over, he's like, oh fuck. Boom. That scene was fucking cool.
Right,
too.
because she called his phone
Yeah.
from Manu's phone.
She's
Yeah,
like, I just have to double check.
Well, no, because I found
Yeah.
myself like throughout with her character just wondering. I was like, either she sucks at her job or she's just dumb. And was it the screenwriter like writing a dumb character like as a
I think she was
not like
new.
almost like as like
Yeah.
not as a plot convenience, but just like as a necessity to reveal these other things, or it was like
I
through
think it's a
her
mixture.
incompetence or stupidity, these things get revealed.
But let's say she's like
Like-
brand new on the force and
Yeah.
she sees a cop dealing drugs.
Right.
It's just gonna jump straight to, oh, he's a fucking crooked cop.
yeah,
I'm gonna call it in
a
to
different movie.
to another crooked cop.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like
Well,
a
who can
different
you
movie,
trust,
she'd
right?
be the main character, she's new on the force and she's,
Yeah.
she starts naive and ends up, at the end of the movie more jaded but more thoughtful. Obviously she wasn't
And
the main character, but
That was super cool right at the end where you don't even see her face, you just see her hand.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, she survived. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
yeah.
And
that-
the other
that was
dude's
cool.
face, Muno or whatever, he was just like, oh, fuck.
Damn it.
Just like, at first you can tell he's like, wait, how do I get out of this? And then he's
Yeah, he's
A lot.
plotting.
Fuck, I'm-
Did anyone else see like a striking resemblance to Jodie Foster, like a young Jodie Foster with
She
that
seemed-
woman?
I feel like I've seen her face
Striking.
before.
She looks like a young Jodie Foster to me.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster speaks fluent French. She's like a hero in French. The
Oh,
French
didn't
love them some Jodie Foster. So I was wondering maybe that was why this woman got casted, just because she looks just like her.
Probably.
We'll
Yeah.
never know.
We'll never know.
Oh, there were some amazing immaculate smoke rings in this movie. It was
Oh,
like if
yes.
those were CGI or if that was some.
Hey, they just
French
smoke
people
more.
really know how to smoke.
Yeah, they smoke more in Europe.
They've
Yeah.
mastered the smoke.
Something I actually wrote down.
There were a lot of just like perpetual, just like cigarettes in the mouth,
Yeah, they're French.
Oh, I thought a detail that aged really well in this movie is how the kid is freaking out about not having his phone, because that's all of us, like that would be
kids
me.
these days.
Like
am I right?
like
You
seriously.
couldn't go on TikTok.
Even if I was abducted and naturally all the other worries, but if I didn't have my phone, it'd be like, fuck, I'm
Yeah.
abducted and I don't have my phone.
Yeah, that
But-
kid was like mostly concerned about his phone. At
Yeah.
the end of it. He was like, I want my phone back.
Yeah.
They took my phone.
I'm with that kid.
Thank God he was wearing his iconic blue polo.
Yeah.
Lacoste.
Lacrosse, yes,
Yeah.
French brand.
pretty
French
cool.
brand.
Iconic.
You used to be able to get those at the Gap.
I wouldn't be able to recognize
In the
that kid
heyday.
without
Yeah.
If nothing else, the heyday, yeah.
It's the deep blue,
Yeah.
like azure polo.
And
Yes,
the
more
gap has
innocent,
been
so
limping
innocent.
along and bleeding
Beautiful.
out, much like our hero Vincent. Like, it's,
Oh man,
Ugh.
it is. I did want to say that it's in the like bucket. I thought was I couldn't help myself, but I was like the fact that it's raining cats and dogs in LA right now,
Mhm.
and there was
there's
there
a
was
severe
leak in
like
the kitchen
flash flood
at
here
yeah.
in
at the
LA.
same time. It was
Oh,
just
I know
like-
that was weird.
That was like
Yeah.
yeah. I just had to say I had to mention
This
it.
episode never comes. We never make another episode.
So-
You'll know we were washed away.
What do you guys think of the sound?
Oh, European guys, older European guys being pervy is never not funny to me. Like the guy, like he's like as he's trying to get the bag of coke, and he just turns around to the ladies, and he's like, you German? Like, he's still like
Oh yeah,
making small
he
talk.
still got it
Yeah.
in the ladies' room.
Yeah.
no less.
They seemed into it though.
Let's
you know.
Yeah.
let's talk about that guy, the crime boss.
Great
favorite
goatee.
character.
Great
Fucking-
goatee.
Cool
yeah, he was
character.
just fun. I liked
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Very convincing character.
Yeah, he felt very, very human. For
Yes.
like one of those baddies.
Yeah.
He has a look.
He
Like-
definitely had a look.
It's
He had
hard to
that line you were talking. You mentioned that line where he was like, "You think I want to kidnap a kid?
Yeah.
Like, you think
Yeah.
I like doing this?"
It was cool because right at the end it's like I even made a joke. It's like, oh, it's settled then.
Yeah.
He gets his kid or something, and the drug lord's like, look, I had to do it.
Yeah.
It's part of the job.
Oh,
you know, like
I'm
I just
trying to run a
How-
good show here.
How funny was it when the Manu guy, you were saying when the Manu guy, like, not so indiscreetly kills the guy, like he's not quite dead?
the other
The
crooked
other guy,
cop.
the other crooked cop,
Yeah.
Manu, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he, you
Hey,
know,
Manu.
and then he, yeah, and he does the whole, like,
Trop tard.
Pour lui aussi.
like,
He was
like
like,
he's dead.
naked.
It's like no one, nothing good like it has ever happened. Like when someone's done
In
this,
those
like,
few seconds where you turned around to search for the drugs in the car, he died.
He died. It's a shame. He was just alive.
oh,
What a
God,
dark
that was
way to
funny.
go,
That
too.
was funny.
Oh
Yeah.
man, he was
Oh,
so
man.
like.
So like effortless. Like he knew he was weak.
I mean, that guy was a double traitor, to be perfectly honest.
No,
I
that guy-
both liked him and didn't like him, because he betrays his friend and calls this guy in the first place. Then he betrays that guy and is helping his friend, gets shot for it, and then is betrayed by his other
man.
associate without him even knowing that there was a betrayal there. It's just...
Mine
Funny.
was like
I couldn't
he
keep
was
track
like the
of the trails.
Wolverine.
That
Like,
was
his powers
fun.
of
A lot of
recovery.
fun
Yeah,
in this movie. Like, I mean, I'm just a dummy in general. So in the very beginning, finding out, oh, he's a cop. Like,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh shit, that guy's a cop too.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's backstabbing him.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that guy's crooked too. It was just fun to like. And
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, now I kind of get it, and now it's like actually starting. So-
I mean, I like the way that was doled out because obviously it starts with them doing an armed robbery, so you don't think they're cops.
no, not at all.
And yeah, it's kind of like casually just established that he's a cop. Like
Yeah,
you
the
know,
wife says I'm gonna go call the real cops, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder what that means.
Yeah.
And then a guy with
Real
a cop
cops.
police, a giant police thing passes by, and I'm like, oh.
I don't know if it was a cheap laugh, but it made me laugh a lot in the very beginning when he was like, actually, the suspect looked a lot like you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That was great.
He
That was
looked
great.
remarkably like you.
That
He's
was-
all right. That's all I need.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Racist.
He was like, what are you saying?
There was
What's
like
the
a
name of
lot of
club?
reference, a lot of
the
Turkish
tarmac?
references, like
Oh yeah, he
rotting
was
in
talking
the
about
tarmac.
rotting in a cell in
Yeah.
Constantinople.
I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if that means
What
something
scene
else
was it where
in French
Mom
or
Yeah.
was
Good
like
name,
saying
though.
like
I
some
like
kind
it.
of metaphor.
he's
Yeah,
gonna
because
fuck
it's where
you.
Yeah.
take off
in
from
a Turkish
this is
cell
your-
or
Yeah,
something like
Is
yeah.
that
that.
what you think
When
it's
was
supposed to
that?
be?
Well, like tarmac, which
Is that when
the,
he was arguing
you know,
with
the
the
road at an
Caribbean
airport,
mob
or,
boss?
you know, the
Oh
tarmac
yes,
is
the
Yeah,
Caribbean
Hey,
mob
Val,
boss.
I
tarmac?
would guarantee it does, but
Yeah.
I have no idea what tarmac
Because I don't know what it means in French, but in American, part
A
of
real
the airport,
definition.
where you, yeah, exactly, God's definition. The tarmac.
Well,
that's something
well
that-
listen, we'll humor the French, but this is what it actually means. Like, we'll let them have their pastries, but
But I don't
Hey,
know.
what scene was it when they were doing a lot of shit talking? Is it the two mob bosses? Was it right after he found out that the coke was fake and he came back and then
They both
"You're
thought
trying
the
to
other one
fuck
was trying to
me."
screw them over. I like that.
That was fun.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love the
that
reason why crime is so stressful. There's
Oh.
no.
Even though this happens in like every single crime movie ever, to me that's like, I guess like to anyone ever making a movie, if there's a scene when you're just like, some guy's just like, I've had enough with this guy, and they shoot him, it always works. I'm like, damn! You know, it's
Square
like-
between the eyes, too.
Yeah, it's
Val
like,
has some cold hard facts, I believe.
So tarmac, it means a road paved with layers of crushed stone with tar on top. So I think you could maybe take that into consideration, that maybe it's the road ahead of him where he has to make a choice, and it's covered with tar, which is kind of like
Wait,
a
where
dark
is this coming
substance.
from?
But Tarmac was the name of the
Sorry.
club.
The tarmac's the name.
Oh.
I missed that.
So
Oh,
you
shit,
could take
that's
it almost
right.
Totally missed it.
as in the like a tar covered road, like a murky dark path he's on. Yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah.
I always
Yeah.
think of tarmac as being associated with airports, and it's the.
Well, it could refer to a runway.
but
as
yeah,
well.
I guess.
yeah, because it can't be arbitrary, right? Like, I thought it was just a cool name for a club, and I also like the neon signage.
I
but it
really
was
like that
yeah.
laser projection sign. That
Yeah, I
was,
guess
like,
laser, not
rotating
neon. My bad.
100
Yeah.
or 360 degrees.
The club is just like a great character, and I guess you can never go wrong with nightclubs. But it does
Oh,
make
you
me.
can.
I guess if you're having like coke deals, it could go wrong.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder about like the pros and cons of doing big coke deals at nightclubs. You know, like I guess the
Where else do you do?
Yeah, exactly. The park.
I
You're
guess
off.
we'll
Yeah.
do it under the abandoned freeway again.
yeah. Well, what are the just for educational purposes?
You might get
what
attacked
are
by
the
homeless.
best places to do a coke deal?
Oh,
LA,
an
just in
abandoned
general.
warehouse?
Yeah, an abandoned warehouse.
Pretty
you
much
could-
Any
Like
abandoned.
Trader
Anywhere,
Joe's.
anywhere in the industrial district, or
You just want
by
a
the
straight
train
up
tracks or something.
abandoned building
Yeah.
that you can easily
Little bit.
secure.
The docks, by the
anyone
docks.
The
from getting
docks,
in.
yeah, the docks.
That's a good
lot
one.
of-
Yeah,
The
you
docks.
you just Google
The tarmac.
abandoned
The tarmac.
industrial abandoned buildings.
Yeah.
Is it a Mexican standoff if it's just two people pointing guns?
It's
at
a
each
French standoff.
Okay,
It's a
French
chair.
standoff. And his attention had to be on the guy with the gun, so the other guy obviously was able to blindside him with the chair before he was able to react.
And he had lost a lot of blood by that time.
Oh yeah, he was anemic. The
His
whole
peripheral
movie.
vision was
And
probably
we missed
done.
the perspective of the guy that was picking up the chair. He looked at the chair, they looked at him, looked at the chair.
I mean, he was losing.
That's how, and that's how it
He
went
was
down.
he was losing so much blood that there's no way he would have been able to please that hot woman anyways. I mean, he was running out. The tank was empty.
That's why, all the
Yeah,
blood
so-
was being stored in his penis.
Yeah.
And I can't say in the stairway when he poured all that lemon juice on him. Like, what was that?
I thought that was super glue. You know how
I'm sure it
hardcore
was-
people will do
I
that?
think he took like vinegar or alcohol or something from the kitchen and he used
Red
it
wine.
to disinfect. Yeah.
I love in movies whenever they show like somebody that does executes like a trick of the trade or like some clever thing where it's like, oh, like when he messed with the zipper on the bag so that the guy would struggle to open it up.
Yeah,
The first
that's
time I
another
saw
smart
it,
thing that he
and at
did.
first-
That was
and
so
at
cool,
first I was
man.
like, what? Because it's like, well, there's a reason he's doing that, but what's the reason he's doing that? And it's like, okay, anytime a movie, this movie does a great job of throwing in those little things that are like, oh, that's cool. And
I
that was
wondered
like,
about
yeah.
that.
Totally.
What- 'cause
at
And like come
first-
in 5 minutes, like come up
Because
with
that's
the champagne
really
in
like
5 minutes.
ultimately a movie like this is about like just it's giving you like all those little rewards. Like you're just like cool. it's a cool.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a cool reward. It's like you're watching it to just be like, that's cool, and that's one of them. Like, yeah. No, that's a good thing.
He was
I mean,
struggling so
No,
much too.
what's wrong with the head?
No, I just love that it's like tiny little details, like
Yeah.
attention to that. Cool. That's
Oh
it's like-
yeah.
Entertaining.
I just nonstop. I was thinking like he's probably like operating at such a high level with that adrenaline that's running through his system. I mean that those were the smart moves that he was making, and he made them from beginning to end. Like no matter how much blood was in his system.
And do you find
He
yourself
was
like
still
in the
going.
audience, as like the viewer, like even though I know it's like I would do none of those things, like in my mind I'm like, so that's what I would do in that situation. But in reality, if I'm in that situation, I'm dead in 2 seconds.
Well, that's what-
or,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But we like to think that like I would be like that person, you know. So it's neat to see all the little cool things.
Yeah,
Like,
If you're ever in that
you know,
situation, you'll know what to
It's
do.
like in the movie Gladiator, like all those things that Russell Crowe does. I'm just like, fuck, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what you.
Like
yeah.
no, I would do none of those things.
Sorry, very off topic. They're making a sequel, by the way.
What?
It's gonna tie into the Joker sequel.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
Russell Crowe in the afterlife.
All right, sorry.
All right. Cool. All right. So, final takes time. There you are. That's our camera. The
He's
couch
actually looking at a
camera.
mirror.
The couch cam.
The couch cam. Yeah.
Casting couch.
Describe our final takes so we do it every episode, just so if this is their first. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So we have a system. The boys discussing some movies have a system
Film.
where
Patented system.
our personal take on the movie is measured in VHS tapes. 5 out of 5 being the maximum score you can get for a movie. And our sense of what the objective value of the movie is measured in film reels. So 5 out of 5 film reels would be an objectively perfect movie, or, nearabouts. Okay, so that being said, I loved the movie. It was a lot of fun. I will say it's not the kind of movie that I would normally pick. I loved it. I'm glad we saw it. But it wasn't. It was like a vignette almost to me. It was like you're looking into this space, into this room where this whole like action sequence happens, and it's the writing is clever. And the characters are double crossing each other left and right, and the action sequences and the plot devices and everything. It was really smartly written, which I appreciate, and it was super fun. I typically want more substance in a movie, though, like something that might have something to say about the human experience, for example. And I'm not saying that it didn't have anything to say about the human experience. I mean, obviously, they're all humans doing their thing, but that's generally what I'm looking for. So I would just for my personal enjoyment, I would probably give it a 4. So 4 out of 5 VHS tapes. And I kind of take the same tack with the objective measure. I feel like the movie was very focused, and I don't know. I mean, it maybe objectively, like, was it you, Indy? You were talking about someone who said that a movie should be judged by its genre. Who said
I think
that?
that was Val.
That was me.
I think it was Val.
But I was taking
was
that
Val,
from.
I'm pretty
I was
sure.
taking that. No, I took that's from Roger Ebert. Which he's
Oh, that's Ebert.
Roger
Mike,
Ebert's
okay.
one of my-
Words.
he's one of my creative heroes. So yeah, that's what he's. You're saying that to needle me, huh?
No, just the truth.
Okay.
I did say.
Well-
What are you talking about? The truth.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
just I'm basically done here. If I'm looking at this movie objectively and taking into account the genre, which is clearly an action movie, I would give it 4 out of 4.5 film reels out of 5 film reels. I think that just objectively speaking, it executes. It delivers on everything that it promises as an action movie. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it.
Nice. Very nice. So sorry, 4.5 film reels, and then what was the VHS tape? 4, okay. All right, so let me think for a second here. All right, so first time watching it, I had a blast. Awesome movie, by the way, man. So for film reels, I don't know if I don't know that much about in terms of like making a movie or whatever. So I'm going to be as objective as I can be in this category. I'm going to say maybe three film reels. I think it was, objectively speaking, entertaining, straight to the point, fun, and so on that, I don't have much else to say than just 3 film reels. But on personal point, I'm gonna give it 4 because I thought it was awesome. I thought it was super fun. Movies are supposed to be entertaining, at least for me, and I was very entertained, like straight from the beginning, middle, and end, and yeah, just like the way it was shot, it was very gritty. You could kind of tell it was like a low budget, but given that low budget, it's like they did such an amazing job. Yeah, man, and the ending was very open-ended, which is what I love. There's no like cemented like this happened or this is how it ended. There was no like not tied, and I always enjoy that in these kinds of movies or movies in general. So yeah, I had a blast, super fun. I would definitely recommend it to other people too. So yeah, 4 VHS tapes for me.
And 3 film reels?
3 film reels.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna say, in terms of objective quality, this movie isn't working with a very large budget. It's very contained, and it gets a lot of work done in a relatively small amount of runtime. I think the movie has a couple of instances where it's borderline goofy or comedic, and I do agree with Alex on the note that it does lack significant substance to the overall plot. I would give it 4 film reels. It's a very good movie for what it is, but it's far from perfect. And in terms of my enjoyment of the movie, I'd say I enjoy it very much, but not enough to give it 4. So I'm going to give it 3 VHS tapes. Thank you.
Nice.
You're welcome. All right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what a lot of what you guys said. I found it to be quite well made, especially in the script department. Pretty tightly written. A lot of moving parts that I think it juggled really well. It never really stagnates at any point. There's not really any moment where it kind of, it's always moving forward. And the situation keeps evolving at every minute of the movie. Again, yeah, you can definitely feel the low budget. And well, it's clear they did a lot with the budget they had, I think. Again, it's not really a knock on the movie or a flaw, but you can tell it's low budget, and that definitely, knocks it down a few points as far as the film reels go for me. But I thought all the actors were, good and just felt very real in their roles. And it was quite a well-made movie, but I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 film reels. For my own personal enjoyment, I actually I find this type of action and just the look of this movie, a lot of shaky cam, a lot of claustrophobic close-ups that I do think were done really well. And like quick cut action and stuff, all done well, but the kind of thing that doesn't usually appeal to me personally. So that type of like Born Identity action and that kind of thing, and a pretty muted color palette, which is again used very well. Clearly not clearly intentional, but less personally appealing to me, and also a CGI blood splatter at the end, which also. Oof.
A little rough.
So yeah, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and give this a 3 out of 5 film reels. VHS tapes. Sorry, 4 out of 5 film reels, 3 out of 5 VHS tapes, which is unfortunately the same score Val gave it.
Why is that unfortunate?
I hate having the same take as the guy who went just before me, so I'm just copying you because I love your opinions so much. All right, here you go, Michael.
Finally.
You waited till Indy waits till the very end to drop the muted color palette. Wow, that was a hammer right there. So, Val, I love that the movie that you selected, like, you're the one that gave the lowest objective rating to.
Subjective.
Subjective, not the my bad. I agree with almost everything that everyone said, but I'm going to disagree with one thing. One quick thing. I disagree with Alex that it had nothing to say to the human condition. I think it said a lot. If you care about things like good facial hair and form-fitting clothing, two things that are near and dear to me, that movie says a lot. Pay close attention to those two things, and maybe those two things only. I think that it's very admirable when a movie doesn't try to be more than what it is, and that's what this movie does. I think it knows what it is. It knows itself. It's not reaching. This is a somewhat mindless and fun thriller, and there's plenty of room for that. Those to me age like a fine wine. They're always fun to watch. This is the type of movie 30 years from now it'll still be fun to watch. Like so. Like for what it is, I would give this. It's not like a masterpiece, but I think I was about to say stars. I'm going to give it 4 film reels in the in that department, and then for myself, God, there's so many movies like this that I love that I would put above this and like this type of genre. So I'm going to go 3.5. It's almost like I want to give it 4, but I mean I can name many more that I would watch ahead of this, but. These type of movies are just fun, and it's like Den of Thieves or The Score, which is a movie that's near and dear to my heart, which I'm not going to recommend for this, but if you haven't seen it, I love movies that are just like, sometimes it's just fun to kind of turn your brain off and just be like, neat, fun, this is cool. That's what this movie is. It's great. Just turn your brain off and enjoy. Yeah, so there we go.
Nice.
So we're
rolling!
All right, so we need Val's final words, and then Michael's gonna say the mic. We can put that.
You just put it down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Alright, we're all done with this movie now. Yeah. Bye.
Solid pick, man.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun,
It's
man.
a good one.
Fun.
Thanks.
Another
entertaining.
great
I will say
episode
this
of
though.
BDSM.
I disagree that it's a movie that you turn your brain off.
Well, I didn't mean it that way.
You need to keep it on a bit more than a normal action movie.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
I'm
gotta
sorry,
keep track of all the-
I didn't mean it
all
that
the
way.
crooked
I
cops.
guess. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean it.
No,
Like
no
it's
worries.
brainless. I meant it's more just like just enjoy it. Like just soak it in.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not like a million layers. To
It's
peel
not going to
back.
make you question existence, is what he means.
Yes.
By that. Yeah, it's not going to.
It is making Michael question his sexuality, though.
No, I'm permanently.
Permanently.
Oh, whatever. We'll edit this out.
Anyway, yeah, we will. So, does anyone else have anything to say?
Now I think we're gonna pass the mic to Mike because next episode is his call.
That's right.
That's right.
And that's our camera if you're interested in
Yeah,
pressing
not
it.
pressing the proverbial mic.
Yeah,
The actual
there
mic.
you go.
Yeah. All right. Yes. Now I get to be the tyrant.
Oh
Well,
god.
well, my peons, what will we be watching? So my selection for our next viewing experience is going to be a lovely movie from the director Hal Ashby. It came out in 1979, starring Peter Sellers. It's Being There. Have you seen Being
No.
There? Being There? It's a delightful movie. It's a satire, and it's really unique. It really is kind of a one of one. I don't even quite know how they made this movie and it works, because it's kind of the type of movie like this shouldn't work, but it totally does. It's a highly beloved like movie like within the kind of satire genre, and Peter Sellers is a one of a kind talent. He's really special. I don't know how familiar any of you are with Peter Sellers, but you should check out some of his other work. Yeah,
Panther, right?
yeah. Clouseau, and he did a lot of other work too. But Being There was his last movie. He died less than a year later, and so thank goodness that movie got made before he passed away. So it's really funny, and it is a thinker, and it does try to say something more. No, but yeah, it's great. So
Cool.
I'm excited for you guys to see it.
Psyched, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah, hell yeah.
So
And
make
also-
sure to be there next time.
Yeah, make sure you watch that. It's your homework.
Yeah.
Did Hal Ashby make Harold and Maude?
No, but Coming Home. Oh no, I'm sorry. He did make.
So that
He did make
concludes.
Harold. I'm so sorry. He made Harold and Maude.
Right.
Let's close it out. Let's close it
Our
out.